What's up, everybody? Welcome back. McTako podcast. I should have looked online at what number we're on.
Oh.
I want to say like 10 or 11.
Maybe we ended on 11.
Either way, the number's here. That's what number of McTako we're on right now. And we are in another location. The last time we did this was after Worlds. And that was one of my favorite ones we've ever done.
It was sweet on the dock.
On the dock with the mist.
Yes.
And then it just like, it was one of my favorite McTakos of all time. Mm-hmm. Following the World Championships. But now we're in another location.
That's right.
Way down south where it's humid. Humid. Let's see, well, this says 26. That can't be right. Oh, that's the date. 75 degrees right now at 8:30 or 7:30.
And there was clouds in the sky basically all day.
And it was a little rainy today. So we are in Houston, obviously. We played the Texas State Championships this weekend. My first event back after a year hiatus of playing events.
When was your last event? It was the
Dynamic Discs Open 2021.
Oh my gosh.
This is 2023. Huge. You know what I realized today? I was talking to D online. You know what or on the phone. You know what I realized today? I've played 3 MP40 events.
This was one of them?
Yeah.
Okay, what were the other 2? That one. Dynamic
Disc Open. And the Memorial.
Oh my goodness. When you had that eagle?
Yeah.
And you had that throw in?
Yeah. Guess what? Second place at all 3.
Oh.
What am I doing? So full disclosure, I got second place this weekend.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert for all you guys and gals out there that don't like spoilers, but I'm still a little like...
It's fresh.
It's very fresh. We're fresh off the course, like within an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. I mean, it's been a little longer. We came back to the house. We had some donuts, some
breakfast
sweet
of champions
tarts,
at 7 o'clock at night.
some coffee. And yeah, so we're back here. We're we're in our Airbnb. I don't know if I'd mentioned that or not, but we're in our Airbnb here in Houston. We just got done playing. So Tako, how about your weekend? How did your weekend go?
Well, so this is actually my second MP40 event. So I'm playing in the MP40 division this year, but this is my second MP40 event. At Waco, I played really, really well, I would say. Like, averaged about 970, which is good for me.
That's not bad.
I haven't played like you. I've played events, but they were like Flex C tiers.
Sure.
Ones that were like, a B tier that had 10 open guys in it, So playing MP40 at an A tier for Waco was just like such a
surreal almost, right?
Yeah, the first 6
experience.
Holes. Yeah, my knees were shaking. I was like, what is happening?
Nervous.
And Brock Cummings, awesome guy.
Brock.
He told me,
what up, Brock?
Told me today, he's like, or yesterday, he was like, you know what? We do this to ourselves, right? It's just disc golf. But like the sport is so amazing. We love it so much that like in those higher pressure situations, I guess you could say, for the higher level events, like we just, and that's a feeling that like at the time it's nerve-wracking. It's lame, right? You're like, I can't play this.
Why am I doing this to myself?
Exactly. But when you like sit back, hindsight, you're like, wow, there's not a lot of things in life that kind of give you that type of nervousness, right?
Right.
That anxiety. So it's like, it's a really good anxiety. You just gotta, I think the reason that like yourself and other people at the higher level are really good is because they can handle that adversity with that anxiety a little bit.
The adversity is tough because for me, not playing for over a year and a half, well, geez, coming up on 2 years.
It's 2 years, bro.
Actually,
say it.
I felt nerves. So Tako and I played the first round together.
Oh yeah.
At Texas Army Trail.
Super lucky.
It was me, Tako, and Nate Bittner, who's a good friend of mine as well, and Tako's.
Yep.
Played with him many, many years ago. Great dude, love him to death. So it felt more like just a casual dollar. We should have done dollar. We should have done dollar.
Nate would have been down.
Yeah.
He was. Nate even said that, EMAC has a way of like making people nervous when he's on their card, and he, struggled
on the first hole.
First
boy,
hole.
did he come back.
He did.
He came back on that first round and ended up, I think I only beat him by a stick that first round. But I had a couple. I started out great, on round 1. Let's talk a little bit about Texas Army Trail.
Okay.
I think Texas Army Trail, I've played I used to play Texas States here. I think I've won MPO. I think we decided twice. And I've played it 5 times.
3. I thought you said 3, but I
got 1 second place. And 2 firsts, and then whatever. But so I've played in Houston many, many times over my career, and in my personal opinion, Texas Army Trail, or TAT as they call it.
TAT, yeah, the locals.
Best course in Houston.
It was sick.
Maybe
the
state.
Ooh, that's,
maybe. I got to think about that one a little bit.
It's a good track. You know, I have roots at the Hideaway. I feel like that's one of those courses that just eats
Hideaway's
my lunch
great. Hideaway's great.
so often that I want to
Hideaway's
try
new
to
though,
attack.
right?
That's
Newer.
true. So like one that's more established because we were like on Mach 5s, I think.
I think that's what they Mach 7s, I think, because they had the ring in the middle.
Oh, okay, yes. Yeah. But anyways, like the feel of the course, like the first few holes, you're in the open. You know, you're teeing across. They have like this weird little ditch in the front. It's almost like a waterway.
It looked like it could be a pond with a dam going all the way around it.
So Nate's mom walked with us for round 1D, and she had mentioned like she lived down the street from that park like for years, and she said they used to play soccer down in this area.
Stadium.
So like it's a large like grass area, but it's down into this like little bowl, and you basically throw your first 2 holes across the bowl.
Yep.
Which are great shots because you're going.
You're basically playing into the woods on both of them. They're cut out into the woods because there's a woods line all around it. First tee shot is what, like 320?
320. But over that thing, I feel like it plays probably like around 330 to 340-ish.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because we're throwing fairways at it.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. So the first 4 holes are really not stressful, I would say.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of stress with them.
Yeah.
With the putting, there's a little stress on like hole 4. If you're not,
I feel like
if you're too far left, you have like a death putt almost.
Yeah. Well, 4's not even in the woods either. 4's like on the side of the hill.
The tee shot is in the woods and it shoots out. And the long pin is actually tucked in the woods, but we played to the short pin on that hole. It's a great hole. And then after that, it's game on.
It's woods on either side, big, huge. What kind of trees? There was like pines.
There was pines. There was oaks. There was scrub oak. There was all kinds of trees.
It was great. And then you have the Texas vine. You know, the thorns off to the side of the fairway if you get in there. And then there was definitely ivy.
Yeah, definitely ivy. Definitely oak. Definitely venomous snakes that want to kill you.
There are signs for venomous snakes.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, anyways, the holes are beautifully carved out. The middle of the fairways are like this, it's like kind of like a sandy dirt, I would say. It wasn't like, you know, in Kansas you go through a fairway that's like that, it might be muddy.
Sure.
You know, in certain areas.
It was hard packed.
It was a hard pack, yeah.
It was you got to play the skip on a lot of those holes.
Yes.
I just loved every minute of it.
It was great.
The only hole that I think majority of the people would not complain about, but like
they'd complain.
Just kind of be like, well, what is this? Is hole 17.
17.
It's a
par 4.
It's not that far.
It's a candy cane type shape.
Yeah, so you're standing here
in woods
on the tee facing this way, we'll say, and the basket is like directly off to the right. But you have to play like a horseshoe.
You have to follow that particular fairway, which is
tight
in spots 28 feet wide.
And there's 3 random trees in the middle that you have to avoid. And if you clip one of those trees, you're pitching out.
It's an instant bogey.
I played the hole for 4. I was trying to get a 4 on it, and I think I 5'd it. Because I went too far right or left, and then I had to pitch out. And then I tried to turn the corner, and I thought I threw a great shot. They clipped the tree and kind of kicked back. So I ended up finishing with a bogey there, but still. That's the only hole on the course that I was like, man, this is the only one that I would change, do something else with, potentially. Yeah. However, the other 17 holes, phenomenal.
I liked them
absolutely phenomenal. It was very demanding course. There was a lot of tweener pars on a couple of them. One of them was like, how is this a par 4? And this one's a par 3. This one's more challenging, but I'm also all for reachable par 4s.
Right.
And more challenging par 3s on a course, right? Because at the end of the day, we discuss this a lot. At the end of the day, par is somewhat irrelevant, right? I mean, it makes you feel better when you shoot 7 under as opposed to 6 under. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you still shot at 58.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You know, and I talked to you about this when we were having our conversation earlier. It's like, in my head, at any course I play, 54 Ironman, right? Ironman par is what I'd like to shoot. Like, I'm trying to get around that. If I can shoot in the 40s somehow, I am like, and that's at any course. If I'm in the 40s at any course, I feel good about it.
I'm trying to shoot Ironman.
Even at Hammond, like, if I'm in the 40s, like, obviously I want that to happen. I want to be in the lower 40s, but I'm going to be really bummed.
You don't want to be in the 40s at Hammond.
I mean, you want to be in the 30s.
You want to be in the 20s.
If you run it twice. I'm always talking about running twice. Excuse me for the cop.
Yeah,
but yeah, so I mean, yeah, that course. Eric and I we were like, man, we could play this course all 3 days.
I wish we did. Nothing against Brock.
No, Brock's great.
Brock Park.
It's just a different style of golf, and I think for guys that kind of enjoy playing the shape shots in the woods.
And what I liked about Tat was there was a lot wider scoring margin. You know what I mean? So no lead was safe.
Right.
You know, as where at the other property there was 4 of us that tied for second, all one back.
Yeah.
So like
not a lot of scoring separation.
Not a lot of scoring separation at Brock. It was more link style with OBs. For those of you that watched the DGPT Silver Series, it was the FPO course that we ended up playing directly after them, which was a little backwards that the MPOs went directly after the FPO, followed by the MP60s. Or 50s and then MP60s after us. So I thought we would be finishing late all day long. And we were lucky the first day. Here's another thing. Weather this week was amazing. Yeah. Day 1, it looked like rain. Tako and I teed off at 9:30.
Yeah, it was
round
awesome.
1. Got through the course. It sprinkled a little on hole 16 as my tee shot was going down the fairway.
Yeah.
But it ended up being fine. And then we went to eat at Schlotzsky's for lunch, and then the sky just opened up.
Yeah.
So it was like,
we were like, wow.
And then Saturday when we played Brock, it was gorgeous.
Yeah, like, amazing.
Just 80,
5 to 10 wind,
85 degrees probably, and 5 to 10 mile an hour wind. Like wind was not a factor at all this whole weekend in Texas, which is rare.
Yeah.
Because this early in spring, it's usually pretty windy everywhere in the country. So it was really nice to not have to worry about wind. And then today we were prepared for just
miserableness,
gross downpour. And Tako teed off today at 12:10, and I was on the lead card at 12:40.
Right.
And Tako probably got 2 or 3 holes with some sprinkle.
I think it was like,
misty,
the
grossness.
first 2 holes I definitely remember hiding underneath my umbrella. So by the way, if you know there's going to be rain or chance of rain, you have an umbrella. The setup is take your umbrella, hang a few towels in there, so that way you're not in and out of your bag or other areas.
Yeah, I've got another couple tips about that in a minute.
Yes, for sure.
We'll get to that in a minute.
But yes, second hole by then, it was like, I could basically just lay my umbrella on the ground. I didn't, I'm carrying the cooler again. So
yeah, for me on hole 1, I even wrapped up the umbrella that you let me borrow.
Yeah.
And didn't even use it all day, just carried it because it was a walking stick, which was awesome to have. But Brock, let's talk a little bit about Brock, and then we'll go back to, don't let me forget about the rain tip that I have. A couple like how I play in the rain and how I, perform kind of thing.
Yeah.
But Brock is pretty good too. Like it was well designed. It was designed. Here's the thing about Brock. I think it was designed for the FPO, which is great. That's what is needed more in the sport, is more courses that are designed for FPO. And I think the FPO and top masters, they're probably pretty close on point as far as skill sets go.
I think like it was relative based on like the scores.
The scores were really relative, right?
Yeah, there was one guy that crushed it and shot like a 13.
Yeah, Austin shot a 13.
And then there was a couple
an 11.
Guys. Yeah. A couple double digits, and then a lot of guys floating around 9.
9s, yeah, 8s.
For like the hotter scores, I guess.
I think 1,000 rated was around 8 down on this course.
Yeah.
Something like that both days. But it's more of a link style course, a lot of distance, a lot of OB. It was really all about just keeping it in play. I thought, I feel like I can throw the disc pretty far.
Yeah.
And I definitely had a lot of putter approaches on this course, on the par 4s, that were just right there. So if I kept it in bounds, it was so scoreable.
Almost jump putt. So you're talking about like kind of how the layout is, right? And I agree with like it's more of like an FPO style. So for guys like us, we're throwing 450, sometimes hitting 500 feet, and these courses allow that kind of distance for our, so like guys on my card, and I'm watching them throw a 9-speed fairway off the tee, and then 9-speed fairway into the basket, right? 9-9, and then maybe a putt or whatever you have to do to get up and down. Me, I'm literally smashing one 3/4 of the way down the fairway, right? And then it's like, okay, I need to handle this 120. 200-foot approach that I have, because we didn't have like an 800-foot par 4.
No.
Or I don't even think we had a 700-foot par 4.
No, I think we had a 600 footer.
There was like a couple 640s, but some of them are like 5 something, and I think like.
It was low ceiling on some of them with
so like you had to shape shots.
So they were legit par fours.
No doubt. It's like, but again, like I think thinking at it that way, if I just maybe go fairway off the tee, then I'd have to throw 2 fairway shots, and I think that's what makes it a little bit different, because at the FPO level, there's only a few ladies that are throwing over 400 feet, right, on that low line,
on flat ground.
Yeah, if you're smashing rollers and you can.
The MPO course was what we saw was a lot of elevation on it, like completely night and day. Flat. Completely night and day from our course, which. I wish we got a round in on that. It was the temporary side, but the holes I saw, which I saw the majority of them in person, walking with Carter errands, or on video. Right. And when we came back to the Airbnb and just turned on the broadcast and watched it, which was awesome.
Pretty sweet to watch those rounds when like we were done. Defrag basically.
Exactly, and the course looked. I mean, it was amazing. Like, I heard really I heard a lot of players having positive feedback about it, which is rare. Anymore, you know what I mean? And maybe it was just the people that played well, too.
I just spent the week in Austin and heard a lot of the conversations about kind of how that course was, and obviously if people watched online, there were some people that were very verbal about it publicly. So, I played that course, played it from the FPO pads. As well, we did a doubles round with the Lone Star crew because we we set up the assets there because it was a Lone Star sponsored event. So that was a lot of fun to go out there and like see those lines.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, I really enjoyed the FPO layout because it's like just at that distance where you're like, I should probably be able to get to most of these. And especially when like the tee boxes are shorter, like there's I can't remember what hole it is, like hole 6. You have to like shoot up and hole 5. You had to shoot across this green, this golf green. I know, and then it was the elevated basket, right? Yep. That hole was like awesome to play from the FPO, but like you go back to the MPO and you're like, maybe I just need to pitch it over to the just pitch it up over to the right because it played uphill. Like it was a good hole, but
But either way,
really hard
Brock,
to score.
Did you like Brock? Did you like Brock Park?
I love Brock for the fact that like, if I played a good game, which is like being good off the tee, and then throwing a decent approach, I liked it because I could handle that style, that low ceiling. Distance.
I agree.
The putt is what kicked me out of it.
I agree. The Brock was an amazing layout. I thought they did a fantastic job. Now our course was it was a permanent course. There is a permanent course there, but it was tweaked.
Okay.
It wasn't the actual layout that we play. Like hole 1 isn't a real hole.
I threw a shot on hole 6, and the caddy of one of the guys today was like, "Oh, you parked the actual original basket for the." I'm like, "What? I didn't even see anything on the ground." Right. So they did a good job of like covering that up,
and hiding things and things. I think there was foot golf.
Yeah, my only complaint about the entire course is that they have some of these foot golf holes, like relative to the disc golf.
Yeti made one. Yeti got an ace on one.
Yeah.
An ace on one.
See, so in Austin, they had foot golf that shared that course. They covered those. Yeah. Took the flags out, they covered them. So that was great, right? You just see like, okay, don't stand in this area. But ours were open, and the flags were still in it.
They were painted orange. They were
what
painted. What did that mean? Did that just mean free relief?
Yeah, look out. Free draw? I don't know. I think the yellow is the relief.
Okay.
So orange is just like caution hazard. I'm sure like you'd have to play from in there. I don't know. I didn't talk to Yeti about that. But I had a putt in a good position on the actually hole 10, which is the mound basket.
One of them.
Yeah, one of the first mound that you play. And I had a shot over to the right, and I'm about 35 feet just outside the circle, and my lie is directly behind this flag.
Yeah, that's brutal.
And I'm like, luckily I straddled to a side and threw a dad putt. But
yeah, it's brutal, but at the same time, I'm kind of okay with the flag still being there. You just got to kind of treat them like trees, right? But you could have. I suppose on something like that, when it's on the putting green, it should probably be removed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if it's like in the middle of a fairway.
I don't care about those.
Yeah. So, but either way, Brock, I thought was a fun layout, fun course. Yeah. Very challenging. It kept you thinking the whole time. It was a tough finish at that course. Like, there was a couple holes. So Tako and I are 2 of 3 people that got eagles on a 400. No.
It said 551. I didn't believe that.
No, I think it was like 460, 470.
Okay. Yeah, because it has to bend to the right. But hole 14.
Hole 14. Yeah, hole 14. Oh, no, 13.
13, because 14 goes... No. So wait a minute.
Yeah.
15.
It's 12. Don't listen to us. It's hole 12.
It is hole 12. We were right there.
It was, yeah, we were close. But either way, Tako made like a second round, I think it was like, you said 80-footer?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah, I threw straight, beat the trees on the left-hand side. You know, there's a play where you like have to bend your shot in towards the right, so that way it kind of hooks up late. I threw a Mockingbird straight, and it put me pin high, but I was 80 left.
Right.
Probably about 75. I was like, I could see the blue.
You were outside circle 2.
Yeah, for sure. And I threw this jump putt, and right away, right when I let it go, I started running it down, and it was in.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah, it hit right in the heart, and you know, I was super stoked because at that point in my round, I was struggling a little bit to score.
Right.
I was played flat on the front, and you know, I think I was at like even.
Yeah, that was a turning point of your round for sure.
Definitely, and then I think I got like the next 3.
4. Probably.
4. I got 4 in a row. Yeah, so an eagle and then 3 after that. So it felt great.
Absolutely. My eagle came from about 15 feet.
What did you throw?
Ballista Joel, obviously. I threw I didn't take the ante line or the flex line. I just went point and shoot right at it. So hyzer flip down the middle.
Okay, yeah, there's 2 gaps.
Yeah,
there's a left gap.
There's 3 technically.
Yeah, the far left gap is like...
Which is what, kind
of like the safe play that we practice.
Or roller or forehand if you got a massive or you're a lefty.
So, and then like, I think the highest used gap is that middle gap.
The middle gap that you flex it around.
Yep, you can flex around or throw something that...
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then, there's this inside gap that is tight with a low ceiling.
Super low ceiling, but you can see where the basket is.
Yeah, the opening.
And you can see the opening. And that opening in the tree is probably 15 feet wide. And that's 400 feet off the tee.
Oh, yeah.
And it couldn't have gone, my shot couldn't have gone more in the middle of that gap. It was, let me think.
I hate you.
It was probably the shot of my tournament, honestly.
Because
it was kind of like, man, I'm not playing that great right now. You know, back-to-back mound holes didn't treat me well. I mean,
I don't know if
both.
Your putt of the tournament, I feel like, was on hole 4 at Tat.
It definitely was.
That was. You made like a 75-footer uphill with the little bit of breeze that we had because that was the open area.
Yes. It
was sick.
Putting was great for me today, or this whole weekend. I missed 1 putt inside the circle, and it was from like a couple feet inside the circle, so probably like 28, 29 feet, something like that.
Yeah.
And it was a bad putt. But everything else was just clean. Everything else, it was left side chain. Yeah. But everything else just was coming out clean. Everything felt good. My putting was on. The only thing that I struggled with this weekend was my approaches. And today especially, because I don't remember the last time I lost a disc, and I lost a disc in round 1 and round 2.
Right.
And they were the same disc, same mold, and it was the only 2 backups I brought. So I had to like struggle to find it's a blend EMAC Judge, and that's just what I love. Those are my bread and butter hyzer flips. So today I was trying to throw a Lucid Ice guy or a Prime guy, and it got me in trouble a couple times. Like hole 4, I went long OB on my second shot, and it just stayed in the air too long, had too much glide on it. And so that definitely affected me, but I'll be honest, I'm very happy with how I played this week.
Yeah.
Not playing forever. I told myself if I'm in contention coming down the stretch, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Which I need to tell myself that because I did walk off the course a little, head hanging a little low because I was tied at the lead going into 18 with...
but he started the round 2 strokes back.
I was 2 back going into 18, and I'd caught Austin. We were tied going into 18, and I didn't have that disc again, that putter, and I just pulled that Lucid Ice guy a little bit too far right, and it flipped up and just went straight. Thankfully, I was safe, but I didn't have any look. I had like a little like crazy low hanging line that if I hit the branch above me and drop, I'm taking a bogey, and then I'm falling to 5th place, or I can stretch out and do a forehand. Yeah, weird. Throw a little forehand approach, and I was probably 70, 80 out, and that's all I had. It was a little forehand. So, and I thought, okay, we'll just put this on the pole and force Austin to hit his 25-footer. And that's what I did, and he jammed it. He won. Marshall blanks, birdied. Nolan birdied. We both tied, and then we tied one other guy from Finland, I think, that...
Junie?
Yeah, that shot like an 11 down that round and caught us. So there was like a 4-way tie.
9, actually.
9, sorry.
Yeah.
He shot 11 yesterday.
Which is insane, because that means he was big boy.
Yeah, he played very well out there. Yeah, except
at Tat.
Austin played very well at both courses. But either way, I'm pretty excited about it. I know Tako, you played very well. You played great. You played great golf at TAT, minus the last hole. And then I felt you played okay at Brock yesterday. I think you started out really slow. I know he started out really slow. He got the eagle and then rattled off the next few in a row, and then just kind of had a bad taste in his mouth coming into the last hole.
Yeah, so like
the last 3 holes are par 3s. Yeah. All 3 of 16 is. Let's be honest. 16 is a hole that you should probably birdie every single time you play it. And I parred it both rounds.
I went par bogey, and that was my birdogey.
Yeah,
on hole 16.
17 is the same distance, which isn't very far. It's sub 300 feet.
Yeah.
But it sits out on this little OB peninsula.
Yeah, it's a cool hole.
So I never even went for it ever. I just threw a little EMAC judge up there and had like a 60-footer. And if I
went for it both rounds and missed the putt both rounds.
Yeah,
high.
I didn't even try. Especially Austin was in front of me and he threw OB. First, so I'm like, well, I'll just play for par and have the tie going in the last hole.
I went Copperhead, which is like stable putter, and then like the first day I like kind of right off the OB line and then kind of pushed me up, and I was right there. I at that point in the round for both days, I'm like, you know what? I have nothing to lose by trying to execute a good shot right here.
Yeah.
This, if anything, it's going to build confidence going into throwing that similar shot later on, either this weekend or
moving forward. For sure.
So I threw 2 different discs. Yesterday I threw the Copperhead, and then today I threw the Founders Ranger, and I put that at 25 feet. And I just hit a little high right in the chains, and it just popped me out to the right, and I was. At that point, so like you were talking about you parring 16 both rounds. I parred it round 1 with a missed putt, and then I bogeyed it round 2 with 2 missed putts. Both of those were inside the circle. So like for me, I'm finding that I think the last 3 holes for all 3 days, I added about 7 strokes total. Yeah. That were unnecessary strokes.
Yeah, so I did that. I mean, maybe not 7, but I definitely.
You're just a little bit better at managing that, though. Those misses, you're not gonna 3-putt like ever from 25
I definitely
feet,
have
right?
before, but But so the last 3 holes is where I lost this tournament because I shot on those last 3 holes. I shot 1 over par, and honestly, I feel like I should play those 3 holes through 2 rounds, minimum 3 under par. Yeah. Minimum for both days. 6 holes, I should birdie. Once. Yeah. Well, 17 I never really played for birdie, but 16 I should birdie 8 out of 10 times. 18 I should birdie 8 out of 10 times. Yeah. And I was 1 over on 18. And that was very depressing because it was such an easy shot for me. I just pulled it right.
230 foot across water.
It was low round 1. It was a low ceiling too. And if you got to punch it on that hole, because if you're coming in chain high, the sidewalk behind comes up quick. Yeah. I should have just thrown that new Fugitive is probably what I should have thrown today.
Just aim at the right tree.
Just force it flat and let it go. But I went for the putter shot, and I was just trying to get it up there close and put some pressure on Austin behind me. And props to him. He won the event, and I'm happy with my finish.
He did rattle off a round 2, 13 down, which is hard to, And he only shot 6 today.
He shot 9 on the back 9 yesterday. That's good.
He was the other one that eagled.
Yeah. Yes, he is. And he told me he hit it from. It was like a 50-footer, 50 or 60.
Oh, that's funny. He told me 25. Which one was it, Austin?
Come on, dog.
Which one was it?
Who are you lying to? Both of us, it was 40. We'll meet in the middle.
Right? He throws a roller on that hole.
Yeah, he did today too. Yep. He slipped on the tee today and almost went OB left.
Oh my.
And I threw the Andy today and clipped the tree on the left, the bad side. Okay. And it goes, and I go, oh no, that's going OB. But it didn't. It was pin high, and I just had like a 100-foot approach. Yeah. That hole's probably a tweener.
Yeah, but I think it's a par 3.
Here's the thing. I think it's a par 3, but there were only 3 2s on it both days.
There was 93s on it.
93s on it. So I'm okay with there being a reachable par 4. Okay. For an eagle opportunity. I'm okay with that. Especially that late in the round where I could force this and or I can play mid-range putter and have an easy birdie.
Today,
I'm perfectly okay with
my entire card took 3s on it today.
Same with my card.
And then 2 holes after that, because then you go to like the short. I throw a forehand on it. It's like what, 300?
315.
Yeah, 315 foot.
Dead
So
straight, OB right.
Yeah, you're throwing probably an EMAC truth at it.
Yep. I got it today from Circle's Edge.
And I got it with the forehand underneath. So like but then the next hole is like another one of those. It's not a tweener, but the distance on the approach, like you have to saw off a forehand hyzer to beat this corner.
Yep.
It has OB long. And then the approach is, man, what, 150 after you beat that corner? 200? Probably 200.
Depends on where you land.
Because it goes up and down.
If you try to turn it at all around the corner, it's easier. It makes that approach shorter.
Yeah.
I never tried.
I sawed mine off, so like.
I went dead straight both times.
Yeah, remember, so like in practice, I threw that forehand shot. That's where I was for the first time we played it.
Right.
And then today, I was actually more inside, and I thought I was like down by this tree line, but I was right in the middle of the fairway.
I was almost OB long on my tee shot.
Today?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But I was like that far from the OB line and just had an easy approach.
So like you're throwing putter.
EMAC Truth, EMAC Judge.
Okay.
EMAC Truth, EMAC Judge into the green. So
but you could probably smoke
I could get something
out
around
there.
The corner. 100%. I could have thrown B dynamic around the corner and got way up in there. But like, what's the point? Here's the thing. Here's how I break down that hole personally. I would rather have a 200-foot approach shot with nothing in the way than a 100-foot approach because I feel confident from that distance. Yeah. So the shot to get around the corner is the most challenging out of those three shots that we just talked about.
Yeah,
right?
I'm kidding. Yeah.
Getting it to flex around the corner, not go too far,
on
not be too short.
the backhand.
Yes. Not be too short in the woods and then have to pitch out and take a par.
Right.
I can just throw it straight, no stress. Throw it straight, no stress, have a birdie, and run into hole 15, which is the hardest par 4 on the course.
By far.
Maybe the second, 11, the mound hole, maybe.
This is what's crazy. We played that hole 1 under.
Yeah, and I threw OB today.
You went 3-4, and then I went 3-4.
Yep, and I threw OB left today.
Yeah, that hole's super fun.
Dude, Ballistic Joel was flying
that.
so good.
That's so far.
It's
left
crazy.
Is like, that's my 450.
I threw a Vandal yesterday on a hyzer flip, and it went as far as Ballistic Joel did today. It went 450.
So like, okay, so there's those trees.
Queso.
Did you go to the left side?
Both days.
Okay.
Both days. I threw the Vandal day 1 because I'm like, hey, this is going to turn right. There was no wind. This is going to turn right. So I just got to put the right hyzer line on it and commit to the shot. And I did, and it just said boom and just flexed, even came out at the very end, and it was just, I threw a forehand approach because that's all I had, but it was way down there.
EMAC.
Way down there.
EMAC flick.
And then today I threw Ballistic Joel, same line, I just didn't get it turned enough, and I actually parked hole 3's basket.
That's so far. Yeah, that's 450,
and then had
480 feet.
Straight shot into the green with an EMAC Judge, so.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm happy. I know you're a little sad about today, at least.
Yeah, because I like
head up, dude.
Yeah,
you played well.
Like 2 980 rated rounds.
Today was
which
experience. You learned a lot today. You know what you need to work on.
Well, what I talked about earlier is because the last 2 events I played, which was Waco and now here, the last 3 holes on all my rounds, all 6 rounds, I struggled to like finish and commit on my putts. Yeah. Like something about those last 3 holes. My drives have been great, excellent, but it's just like the putt.
Commit.
Just the putt. I mean, in Austin, I remember hole 16. I think I 2-putted out there. Actually, I threw one in the water on hole 16 because there was water directly behind the basket, like 5 feet. Air ball. I was like,
that happens. Putting is tough. Putting, especially in tournament time, completely different when you're out just playing a casual round or just playing for fun. Putts don't matter because here's the thing: you're not worried about the consequence of missing. Yeah. You're just putting. Yep. So as soon as you can get that mindset on the tournament play, you're a dangerous man. And that's how I felt this whole weekend with my putt, because I didn't feel like I didn't step up to a single putt, with the exception of the first 2 putts at Tat. Nervous. And I about canned both of those, and those were both outside the circle.
They were sick. They looked so clean, and both of them hit a lot of metal, and then just barely. So
and then the 70-footer went in on 4, and I'm like, yeah, let's go.
So nasty.
Let's go.
You parked the hole before. It was like, don't hit your head. No putt required there.
Yeah.
Like you basically just.
But still, I still think you need to think about this too. Your shot of the tournament. My shot of the tournament comes down to 1 or 2. I'll let you decide which one, because you saw one of them. I think it has to be the one at Tat, hole 7 at Tat.
By far.
Because the shot on the par 4 to yesterday that we talked about, that was a great shot, but
it's easier to access.
But hole 7, I was the only 2 in the entire field.
Elevated wooden basket at Tat. Hole 7 is
How far
third.
Is it?
Oh, it's 400 feet. Through tight woods. The fairway doesn't get bigger than 25 feet across.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tight all the way down.
And there's a tree probably,
big one
massive,
right off the tee.
Massive tree that 2 people couldn't get their arms around.
Yeah, right off the
straight left of the tee.
But it's literally like, this is an EMAC designed hole, right? So it's like, boom, hyzer flip up towards the left-hand side, and then it just drifts over, beats the right-hand side gap, which is so tight, but the whole hole is tight. So like the fact that he makes it through this, 7-foot wide gap, 360 feet down the fairway.
And pushing forward.
And then it pushed forward because it was a Vandal.
It was a Vandal.
Like if there was going to be a Vandal
Have you guys
commercial,
got a Vandal yet? Have you bought a Vandal yet? Buy one.
I feel like, I almost feel bad that I didn't like have the phone out ready. Because I was like,
we did talk about filming.
We
did talk about filming the night before. We were this close to bringing the camera out for round 1, but we chose not to, probably because of the rain potential, and it would just been a little unprofessional, I think, and maybe I don't even know if that's legal, to be honest with you. So we chose to just not do it, and
we didn't pay the $500 fee to have
well, it was an A-tier, it wasn't the DGPT, so.
Oh, well, but we played on the same courses.
We did, but it wasn't the same event.
Okay.
But anyway, that was my shot of the tournament.
So sick, by the way.
What was yours?
Oh man, I'm trying to remember. Like, I feel like my best hole was a distance shot, actually. And that was today on
which hole? Like 6?
Hole 6.
Yeah.
That's a 550.
It's close to 6. It's pushing 6.
Yeah, and I put my drive out today, and it just shaped the fairway. I threw a DN Carey Founder's Curl.
Okay.
And that disc just goes so far. It has that pop top. It was a purple.
Super domey.
Yeah, and I have 2 of them, so that's great. But I throw this thing out, and it just hits the line perfectly and drifts back. Like for me, I would say that was my drive of the tournament. But I do have the putt of the tournament, which was my 2 that I hit today. I mean, the eagle putt felt great, but it was like I had ceiling.
And if you missed that, you're still getting a birdie.
Birdie,
and still scoring.
Yeah,
right. But
today,
the putt today, that low.
So it was actually on the hole that Owen aced.
Oh, nice.
So yesterday I threw a backhand, and hole 2 at Mod. Brock Mod.
Yeah, Brock Mod. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, and then so the round 1 I threw a backhand hyzer, and it just like didn't feel right. And then today I went wide forehand gap, which I felt pretty good, but I slipped a little bit on that because it's not the tee pad. It's a
sidewalk.
It's a sidewalk, yeah. So I slipped a little bit, and then I kind of gripped it left, and it put me out wide, and I was easily 66 feet away. And I had this low ceiling that was probably 8 feet high, and I was like, you know what? And I just bogeyed hole 1.
Oh. That's the worst.
Yay. We're missing a putt, 28-footer. Yeah. So I was like, all right, dude, just keep this thing low, aim a little low left side, and snap your disc at it. And
I love those putts.
Yeah, and I jump putted it, and that thing floated and was still going up as it hit the chains.
Yeah.
Like mid-left, just
that's perfect.
Hit it so clean.
Those are great. Those are my favorite putts to hit.
It felt really good. The height, I don't get a lot of like action like that. So like feeling that one like go like that.
Yeah, come clean out of the hand.
Yes.
And, yeah, I get that for sure. So. That's great. To kind of go back on rain golf a little bit and talk about tips. That. The one thing I've noticed a lot of people do during the rain golf, I tend to play good in the rain. I tend to play better in the rain. I think it's because a couple things. I slow everything down, and I come prepared. Right. I think the second one is the key here. Be prepared for it.
Yes.
I was expecting rain today, and I had a rain jacket in my bag. I had 3 or 4 towels, one in the umbrella, like Tako said. chalk bags.
Oh yeah.
That
you
TSA
said you had like
looked
4
at.
or something like that. 3.
TSA pulled me
checked them.
aside and was like, "Hey, what is this? Like, we got to run this through the tester to make sure this isn't some weird substance."
And then Eric goes right in their face.
Yeah, I was like,
No.
I was like LeBron. But no, either way, yeah, 3 of those. And what I do with those, the DD dirt bags is the ones that I prefer, is I take the bags that they come in, the little plastic bags, and I pour climber's chalk into them. And it kind of helps get that grippiness, you know. And
with the already...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I'll have it in there, and I'll just kind of pound it a couple times and like have chalk all over the place, which is fine, whatever. It looks, you know, when you throw, it looks cool. But that's one of them. And the other thing I do is after I throw a tee shot with a drive, I'll look at what disc that is and know what holes I'm playing ahead. And if it's a disc that, hey, I have this disc in my bag for like hole 1, for instance. I threw that Lucid Ice Trespass.
Okay.
The yellow one,
the
both rounds.
chartreusey, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And I knew the only time that the only other time I'll throw this disc is like if I have a forehand approach or something, like longer forehand. It's like my distance forehand. And out there, I really don't have that, right? I usually don't have a forehand out there. I don't need a forehand on that course.
Yeah.
And I didn't dry it. I just put it all the way to one end of the bag. There's no point in drying that disc. Why waste good towel space on a wet disc that I'm just gonna put back in my bag and not throw it to the end of the day?
Fair.
So the only time I dry a disc is when I know I'm gonna throw it again on the upcoming shot or a hole, next couple of holes. It helps you save towels so much.
And make sure you separate it so that way it's not like rubbing up against.
Yeah, all on the other end.
Okay.
And majority of the time I have the top bag. I've got the Kona bag is what I'm carrying right now. The Topo Kona bag, which is sick. There's still some available if you guys want to go pick one up. The top is where I'll keep like my putters. Like everything has a zipper on it too, so I can close everything up. The discs that I use the most, I keep in that top spot.
So like B would go in there.
B goes in there. Okay. Joel was in there all weekend. Okay. The Vandal, Mustache Vandal was in there all weekend. Those discs were always in there.
Right.
And dry them a little bit, but just, keep that area like nice and dry. And then any discs that I'm not using, I'm putting them in the bottom or in that little spot on the front of the bag. Like that Trespass, it's probably still sitting in that spot. Right now, if I go get my bag out of the truck, it's probably still sitting in that spot because that's where I put it after hole 1, knowing I wasn't going to touch it. So those are a couple things that I do to help me perform when it's gross out.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's dealing with these conditions, and a lot of times if it's a hole that I'm throwing an EMAC Truth at, I'll club up to a Vandal and throw it at like 80% or 70% power as opposed to just ripping on the mid. Disking up's always important, and just take a little extra time. Just take a little bit extra time, slow everything down, and guess what? Pars are really good in the rain. If you have a birdie up, that's great. That's good. Take advantage. But let the birdies come. Don't get aggressive. Don't try to push. When you start to push in these poor conditions, when everything's wet, that's when you start to fail. So if you want to be successful, those are the tips I have for like rain and gross weather. Nobody likes playing in it. The other thing you can do is practice in it. If it's raining outside, go play in it.
I remember seeing Paul McBeth like having a video where he posted like putting his hands in buckets of water with a putter and then pulling it out and just jamming putts.
Dude, Paul, that's a great point for Paul. Like I remember this was 2012.
Oh gosh.
We played the Rochester Flying Disc Open in Rochester, New York. I was with Paul. We were traveling a little bit at the time. After the event, we drove to New York City and hung out for the first time and just went to a Yankees game, I think.
Sick.
But anyway, it was dumping rain. He didn't play well, and it was dumping rain, and he's over there on hole 1 just putting it in. Just putting practice. Everybody's like in the parking lot with their umbrellas or under the shelters, like just...
Paul's just immersed in it.
Paul's just jamming.
Never going to have bad putts
and guess what he did that year? Won his first world title. Like... That's when that's the work ethic I'm talking about. That's the work ethic that nobody else has but Paul McBeth had early on. And it was eye-opening, honestly. It was eye-opening to see the dedication to be out there in that rain. You want it? You got to work for it, guys. It's not going to come to you. You got to get out there and bust your butt. It's simple as that.
Life.
That's exactly right. You got to treat this just like anything.
Yeah.
So
that's a great point.
It's awesome.
So what else? What other events or what do you have planned coming up?
A lot. Excitement. So next week, actually, I am going to North Carolina, which I'm excited about, taking the ESU team to North Carolina for the national championship. We fly out on Monday, the Collegiate National Championship.
Nice.
We've had a lot of success this year. My D1 team hasn't lost. You know, we got Justin, we got Alexis, we got Cade and Grant.
Looks like we need to beat the snot out of them.
We are talking about playing them. We'll make that
eventually
happen.
get all 8 of us together or whatever it is.
We'll make that happen at some point. That's my D1 team. My D2 team is we got Ross, we got Zach, we got Quentin, and we've got Tyson. And then my 2 girls, Shelby and Rebecca, just awesome. I can't say enough good things about the girls too. They're just new to the sport. Rebecca, she emailed me when she found out that we needed one more female to play. She'd never touched a disc in her life. So get this, Rebecca's first experience with disc golf was getting a clinic from Ricky Wysocki.
Oh, okay.
That was like her first introduction to the sport.
It's like the best in the world.
And then we went to an event, and her first ever competitive singles round was in Jonesboro on the FPO layout. That's like, welcome to disc golf.
Like, I don't want to play disc golf anymore. Throwing it so many times out there.
Yeah, and it's awesome. She's fallen in love with the sport.
Well, what others? So did she play, like Shelby played softball?
No,
right? Volleyball.
Volleyball. She was a volleyball player. No, Rebecca was athletic trainer is what she does. So she works with the
like
athletes.
A soccer player.
She's an athlete. I mean, she's definitely an athlete. So.
Yeah, for sure.
But she's fallen in love with the sport, which is awesome. Love to see that.
Get more reps, ladies.
So that's what we're doing next week. We're going out there and competing and hopefully bringing home the national title.
That'd be sick.
But I just want to be competitive. I hope the guys go out and just perform and have a great weekend. They play better as a team than anybody I've ever seen. The singles, they got some work to do.
Is this the USDGC track?
No, this is in Marion. This is in Marion, North Carolina, not South. Yeah, they play very well together as a team, and I'm just excited for that.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
And then we come home, and then Music City Open A tier.
Let's go. We're going again.
I know. One more time.
Brocation.
And then GBO. Glass Blown Open. I'm assistant TD of that.
I'll be home.
Yep.
At the same time.
I've got some discs that I'll be selling that are exclusive. Right here, you hear it first. Fusion Orbit EMAC Judges. I'm super excited about it. I've got one in the bag right now. I love them the way they fly. I'll have some of those available at the GBO block party. And then after that, Lincoln Star City Shootout, another event that I used to go play all the time. It's an A tier again this year. Tako and I are going to roll up there. Have another great weekend.
Yeah.
And then the other A tier I'm signed up for right now is the Alaska State Championships at Meyer Lake.
And again, when is the date for the Alaska event?
It is July 14th, 15th, 16th, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said it's the first year it's going to be an A tier.
First year it's an A tier. This is the 4th year we've done an event up there, but it's the first year it's an A tier. We haven't had an A tier in Alaska since King of the Hill a few years back.
Oh, wow.
And I'm just excited to this event's been growing. The course has taken like 4 years to finish because there's only like such a small window to work on it because of the Alaskan temperatures and weather and weather. So it's finally done. Everything's done except a little like landscaping here and there and those kind of things, but all the pins are done. Last summer when I was up there, I helped pour the rest of the tee pads.
Sweet.
So that's the other A tier that I'm signed up for now. That gets me through July, but there's other events. I'm sure events are going to pop up between now and then. Whoa, one more thing. This weekend, Black Hoof. Guys, you've heard me talk about Black Hoof. Lenexa, Kansas at Lenexa Lake, Black Hoof Park. You've heard me talk about it. You've heard the hype online. I believe it's Wednesday or something like that. There's an official ribbon cutting. And then the actual first date that the course is open to play is April 1st. It's not an April Fool's Day joke. It will be open on April 1st. There's an event going on. It is full right now, but come on out. You can watch some play. You can hang out. There's going to be vending. There's going to be distance contests, putting contests, all kinds of fun stuff going on. There's a little 9-hole course out front for kids, juniors, those kind of things. That's going to be fantastic. And I can't say enough good things about Black Hoof. I think it will be not just my favorite course that I've ever designed, but potentially the best course in the state of Kansas.
Shut up.
It has that ability.
There's been some sick like little teaser photos that I've seen where I was like, oh, look at that hole.
It's 18 holes. There's like 2 holes that are kind of more in the open, and the rest of it's all just carved. Like, dude, when I designed this course, I couldn't even walk through these woods.
Are you allowed to say like the par? I know you don't care about par, but I still feel like, you know, people have a good idea of like how long it might
I'll put
play.
the distances and the pars up here because I got to double check a couple things there, but I've got all that information, but I will put it up on this video. And then obviously I'm going to take the camera out. Hopefully you can go with me, and then I can do some interviews of people coming off the course and talking about it, and then I want to do a film with Tako out there as well. And get your take on the course. And see
I'm super stoked. I've been like,
there's 2 par 5s. Oh, dude, I'm just I cannot wait.
So when Eric originally asked me to come out and hang out at this event and like bring the van, because I vend out of this van for Lone Star Disc.
Shout out.
Like I was like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to be there that weekend because I'm gonna be in Nashville,
Vegas,
right, running an event, or like being a part of like, because in my head I was thinking that weekend was the same weekend as Nashville. Coming to find out, you know, it's not the same weekend.
It's not the same weekend.
So
Nashville
actually,
is 2 weeks away.
Yeah, I can say this now because this will come out after I get home.
I'm going to drop this on Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday, which I'll be home like Monday night.
Yes.
My wife and kids
Or do we want her to watch this and this be? We can put it out tomorrow, and then you just say, "Hey, guess what?"
No way. Then there'll be a spoiler. I'm gonna surprise my family. I haven't been home in like over a month.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be great.
Right? Yeah, it's been.
Yeah, a month and a half.
Yeah.
Like late Feb. So.
Yeah.
But
so Taco's gonna surprise the family.
I'm gonna surprise the family, and then and then go out to Lenexa. We reached out to Isaac, and hopefully he says it's all good that I can come out. And either way, I want to go out.
Either way, we're going.
Yeah, I'm going, because we need to play that course, check that out, and it's just gonna be super excited. So I'm super pumped to be like, oh, I do have that spot available. Oh, I will be home. Yeah. So I'm excited to it's just been like. I miss Kansas too. I'm not gonna lie. I miss some Kansas golf.
Well, you miss family.
I miss my family.
Miss our rounds.
I miss this right here.
If you've noticed, I haven't put out a video in a while because it's tough. But I'm working on hiring somebody actually to come film rounds for
applications, put them in.
And if you're close, you're local to Emporia, hit me up. Let me know. Comment down below if you want to be a cameraman and get a little scratch for it. You know, and you don't have to edit if you don't have any editing skills. That's not a big deal. I can still
that's a huge
pump that out. But that is
plus.
a huge reference. Whatever you want to call it. So we'll see how that works out. But that's something I really want to look into doing so I can pump out more of these videos and do more of this type of stuff at all the events that we're going to. We're obviously going to be doing these kind of McTakos at the event wrap-ups.
I think they're great.
And potentially, I see a lot of like I see Brody do it. A lot of people do it before the rounds, go and play practice rounds on the courses. That may be something we try and do if we have some time. But for me, I really like leading up to the tournament is focusing and playing round, like getting good practice in so I can perform well at the event, right? I feel like if we're filming, it's not.
We're kind of working when we do that, so I understand. So I think about it this way: like Brody and Ezra are at like a certain level of like playing these courses and like are comfortable enough with like being in that atmosphere enough, or even people that are doing practice rounds.
And majority of them are playing the courses that they've played.
They've created that as part of their habit, right?
And they're courses that they have played.
They're courses that they have played years for the most part
before, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So that's something else that I'm looking at doing, that we're looking at doing. We're going to do more than likely, we're going to find a course tomorrow morning before I fly out and get a quick round in and bring the camera out for that. Next
might just
week,
be aces. We're just going to run aces.
Yeah, next week we're going to do some filming in Emporia. And hopefully at Lenexa. There's a lot going on.
A lot going on. Yeah.
What discs are you going to have for sale that I know you wanted to talk about?
Okay, so I just ordered
again.
queso. So these are actually the discs that I have for the Flex C tiers that I'm going to be running. So it's Lone Star Disc Glow Plastic. Super rare to basically get these because Lone Star's, not going to be having them on the regular order form anymore. So if you sign up for one of my Flex C tiers, you can guarantee that you're going to get that little stamp with my little face on it.
Yeah.
And
what
these
disc is
came
it?
out great. This one right here is a Harpoon, but I have like middies, warbirds, Nimitzes. There's walkers in there. I have some armadillos. Like, so there's just like a nice variety of this. And there's also some Mad Cats. And, you know, so it's basically a selection. Because when people sign up, I don't just want to be like, here's the disc you got to take. I want them to be able to have an option like, hey, well, I need a mid-range or whatever. Yeah, I think that's what I would want as a player if I'm going to come and I get a player pack.
It's a better experience, right?
Yeah. And these things glow hot. Like, they are... You sit them in a little bit of light, and then all of a sudden it's just like green the entire time.
That's cool.
I played around with one recently, didn't have to light it up once.
That's cool.
I thought that was pretty sick.
That is sick. That's a good glow for sure.
Yeah, it was like I could see it like without any charging.
Yeah. So what C tiers are you talking about? What events?
Okay, so I'm running a Flex C tier at
Nashville.
In Nashville on the Wednesday. That one's called Lone Star Flex at Seven Oaks Disc Golf Course. Zach Hoy, you know, we talked. Zach Hoy's the tournament director for the Nashville event, so shout out to Zach. But we talked, and he said, yeah, it'd be a good day to run one at Seven Oaks, which is like a local course that a lot of people like to play.
Fun course.
I haven't played it, so I'm looking forward to getting out there and like playing the course, figuring out like the finicky things. I think there's 3 holes that are like, they're called the inner 3.
Yep.
We're not going to be playing the inner 3.
Oh, okay.
It's just going to be an 18-hole layout, not with the inner 3. There is a $1,000 A spot that Lone Star Disc put up, so that's going to be available. First 25 to sign up at that event, amateurs are going to receive a bonus disc. So they have a pick of one of these discs and then a bonus disc.
Do you have Reg open now?
Reg is open now for that one.
I'll put the link in the description for the Reg on that. If you're in Nashville and want to play, it'll be in the description.
And then the following week, so that was April 5th, the following week in Bowling Green, I'm going to Bowling Green AMS.
Nice.
And I'll be set up.
Such a big event.
Dude, yeah. HB Clark is the tournament director there. We were super fortunate enough, Lone Star was, to have a course reserved where we can run. And that's really hard. You know, there's like 500 people, 500 amateurs, so people are usually trying to.
Big event.
So we have, I think it's called Hobbs Disc Golf Park.
Yep, I've been there. Yeah.
So that's the course, and we're playing the tournament way out there. That Reg is open as well. Don't worry about the Disc Golf Scene page on that. It's on Disc Golf Scene.
I could put it in the description. It's easy.
Okay.
I'll put Taco's events in the description.
I don't live in the 21st century, so I don't know any of these things.
He doesn't.
I'm so bad. But so I'll, and then I'll actually vend that week. Yeah. So I won't be vending at Music City, but I'll be vending at Bowling Green, which I think is an awesome opportunity. Oh yeah, and if you're a Lone Star Disc team member, you get 20% off any items inside the van. So
he'll also be vending at the Glassbone Open.
I will vend at the Glassbone Open.
GBO, I'm sure he'll have some of these glow discs potentially there.
Hopefully they're going to be all gone by then, but I might have some there. But what's super special? There's a special drop. So
yeah, there is.
I have another stamp coming out, and there's going to be 200 limited Charlie Bennies. So Charlie plastic is the new plastic for Lone Star that is similar to Founders, but it does not have like the metal flakes in it, the sparkles in it.
Yeah.
Founders plastic is like the transparent with some sparkles. This is going to be kind of like that transparent.
It's quality too.
They're great. I bag I think like 5 Founders discs. They're all great plastic.
Yeah, it's good plastic for sure. So
yeah.
I'll put all those links in the description for Taco.
Thank you.
Come out to GBO if you're coming out. Find us because he'll have a booth. I'll have the Fusion Orbit EMAC judges. The stamp on these things are sick. I don't know. Did I show you the stamp?
Show me the stamp, and I felt the one that you actually bagged, which is not the same stamp.
It's not the same stamp, but I do have the stamps. They're going to be double stamps, so they're going to have 2 different color foils. Maybe one will be Dimax. We'll see, but I cannot wait for those. Crispin did it, so you know it's going to be
fire.
Sick. You know it's going to be sick. What
always
Hand-Eye
creating
Crispin.
Amazing things.
So here we are. It's been about an hour. Well, I think we're good to wrap this up. It got dark out. We got some dinner to make, or not dinner to make. I guess we got some leftovers to heat up. Maybe some
more donuts.
More donuts.
More donuts.
We got some donuts to eat. So you've got a long drive ahead of you. So maybe you could just pound those donuts tomorrow too.
Yes.
But thank you, Tako, for bringing me out and playing the event. It was
you
a good
convinced
time,
me to sign up. Let's be real.
I did. Last time we were driving to Texas to go to go to Lone Star.
Yep.
I convinced Tako to sign up for the event. So one event down, many more to go. I'm excited. Yeah. The reason I'm playing, guys, I don't know if I had mentioned this, was MP40 Masters, whatever you want to call it, Worlds is in Emporia, Kansas next year, and I couldn't pass up the opportunity to play a World Championships in my backyard. competitively. So I'm going to make a run at a title.
Yes.
I'm going to train a little, maybe. We'll see. But yeah, not quite as hard as I used to, probably. But this weekend gave me a little fire.
Yeah.
It gave me a little fire to get back in it.
Love to hear that.
And I would love to have another world title opportunity, just to be in contention for it. I think that'd be that would be awesome.
Yes.
That'd be a fantastic goal of mine. So that's
So
the plan.
excited, so
I'm going to
excited.
try. I'm going to do my best. We'll see what happens this year. I can't wait for the next events. It's been great. Tako, thank you so much once again for everything.
Yes, sir.
Being here with me, filming, talking, editing. Well, not editing, but
I don't do none of that.
But you're here. That's all that matters. Driving me around all week in this massive rig back here.
Yeah.
All that fun stuff. So other than that, I think we're out. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, you know the drill. And any parting words?
Thanks to Lone Star Disc for the support, and we're super excited about partying this year.
Heck yeah. Yeah. So see you guys next time.